I decided to clear my closet one day, and I made a giant pile of clothes on the floor. Things that didn't fit anymore, pieces that were out of style. And then I realized these weren't just outfits, they were stories from different chapters of my life. The cute top I twirled in at a music festival with friends, the red dress with my crush, the power blazer from my first day at a dream job. I thought letting go would be simple. I stuffed them into a big bag, put it in my car, and decided to donate them. But 6 months later, and the bag was still in the back of my trunk. Life happened. I wasn't sure of the best place to take them, and I never got around to figuring it out. Eventually, I drove up to a random green bin at a strip mall parking lot, placed the bag inside, and drove away, thinking that I had done my part. What I didn't know then, and what I know now with my background in fashion supply chain sustainability, is that my bag most likely became part of a global waste crisis we never talk about. Only 16% of donated clothes are used again. The rest are incinerated or landfilled. A lot of times when nonprofits and thrift stores can't resell donations locally, they're bundled and shipped to overseas resale markets. But most fast fashion today, which are clothes that are produced quickly and cheaply to keep up with trends, are so low quality that they can't be reused. So they're thrown away in the importing countries. Kenya receives over 300 million synthetic garments every year. Things like used leggings and swimwear. And a third of that end up as plastic pollution in the Nairobi River. In Chile, illegal fashion dumps in the Atacama Desert are so massive that they can be seen from space. And that's just down the line. Upstream, fashion is one of the most polluting industries in the world, from toxic chemicals and dyes to deforestation for raw materials like cotton. By 2050, we are going to be producing over 150 tons of textile waste every year. Imagine a garbage truck full of clothes just dumping out every second, nonstop. Today, we've made enough clothes to dress the next 6 generations of humans on Earth, and we're still going. Policymakers are starting to respond. In California, we passed the nation's first Responsible Textile Recovery Act, which will make brands and retailers accountable for fashion waste. Countries around the world, including the EU, are doing something similar. And it's a great start, but we need to reimagine the whole system if we want to make preventing waste the path of least resistance. This mountain of decomposing clothes is not just because of poor recycling rates. It's a mirror of a disposable culture where fast fashion collections drop every week, sometimes every day. It's like the Tinder of textiles. Swipe, wear, move on. But there's a different way. It's called circularity, and it keeps things in use for as long as possible. Today, If you're wearing t-shirts, look down. A typical t-shirt is grown, sewn, worn, and then tossed, sometimes within months. With circularity, it's made responsibly, made well, mended, passed on. And when it's truly worn out, then it can turn into insulation or new fabric. So circularity works the same way nature works. Dead leaves become mulch, fallen trees become habitat, and even decay nourishes life. Circularity is not just a supply chain model, it's a mindset. And it comes to life with three things. By designing better goodbyes, building support, and redefining value. Did you know that a garment's environmental impact, 80% of it is decided at the design stage? So we can design better goodbyes by creating clothes and designing them so that they're not just for first impressions, but they're also ready for their second lives. This means choosing fabrics that can be worn and survive years of wear and then be turned into something else. And then using trims that can come apart easily and be fixed easily when they break so that we don't have to throw them away. We need timeless pieces that we can start long journeys with and then let go of with purpose once the time comes. But like my trunk showed me, intention and action are not always the same thing. And this gap leaves us feeling guilty, skeptical, or just tired. That's why we need support systems that meet people where they are. In a 2025 Bloomberg article, it reports that fashion is the next great clean tech frontier. If you think about it, our pile of clothes is not just a pile of clothes, they're also a pile of data and decisions that our current systems currently don't know what to do with or can't handle. Technology can help us bridge the gap by removing the friction that prevents good intentions from turning into actions. It can help us to scale individual behavior so that we can meet the size of our problems. Imagine taking a picture of your clothes and getting quick guidance on what to do next so that they don't end up in landfills. You can trade it in here, repair it there, book a pickup service with a couple clicks. AI can personalize your options, GPS routes the materials to where they're needed most, and when they get there, machines can separate the fibers the same way that we can separate egg yolk from whites so that we can prevent contamination and regenerate materials so that they're higher quality. Startups are already piloting solutions like this. We need to support them and fund them because we need tools that make circularity as easy as sorting food scraps into the compost bin, and as automatic as brushing your teeth, and as convenient as getting a package delivered. But behind the tech, it's the people collaborating that make it work. Individuals with their bags of clothes, nonprofits collecting, thrift stores reselling, brands using recycled materials, cities hosting repair workshops to support zero waste goals. Designing better goodbyes means designing systems that can follow through. Just like we build water treatment facilities and solar farms, we can build networks that can carry our clothes from one life to the next. I mean, the technology exists, the partnerships exist. Now we need the culture to match. Because even with the right systems, circularity fails if we don't redefine what we value. Today, a typical garment is only worn about 7 to 10 times before it's discarded. So we need a culture that understands worn out is not worthless, that the next hot thing doesn't have to be what's hot off the presses. We need a society that supports rewear, that removes the stigma from buying used, that celebrates second acts, and that honors next chapters for clothes and for ourselves. When my dog Puggles died after 14 years of adventures together, her brother Bam Bam and I gave her favorite things to a rescue pug. Not to erase her story, but to extend it. Later, that rescue joined us on new trails with her old things. She was still a part of the journey, just in a different form. And that's what circularity is. Not just keeping things in use, but in how we handle goodbyes, in what we choose to carry forward in our lives. Circularity is not just a waste solution buzzword. It's a blueprint for starting over. So, what can you do today? Support secondhand and upcycling designers that turn old items into new things. Sign up as beta testers for innovators that are piloting new circularity tools. And only donate clothes that other people actually can still wear so that the burden of our good intentions don't fall on the communities with the fewest resources. If we change what happens to our stuff, we change what happens to us. And when we design better goodbyes, we can make room for better beginnings. Thank you.